When you're babysitting, sometimes you feel like someone may be in the house watching you. This TikTok video will have you double checking that all your doors are locked. The dude in the video, TikTok handle Tanner J. Shelton, claims that he just put the kids that he's babysitting down for the night when he heard laughter. It was 10:30 p.m. At first he was annoyed, as it was the third time he had to tell the kids to get to bed, as the noises were coming from the baby's room. He assumed the other kids had woken up to check on their sister, so he checked the baby monitor and he saw this. What is that in the top left corner? Looks like a hand reaching in the baby's crib. Redditor MXGI Wiz writes on Reddit, after this video, the infant was kidnapped apparently. His caption was, "I'm never babysitting again." Though I think it would be on the news if that happened, and this man would certainly be a suspect, but that doesn't stop people from hypothesizing. Redditor MMocker98 adds some intrigue to this story, recounting that there's an even stranger video on this guy's YouTube channel. Mocker writes, "I believe the one with the woman, video number 5 I think, could possibly be fake, but what if it's not? What if this is all real? It's giving me this weird gut feeling, and I can't find too much information. You know what they say, always trust your gut. What is your gut telling you about this one?" Dennis from Dark Ghost Paranormal is exploring this scary house with ghosts, and he's in for a real boo. While searching what looks like a storage area of the home, he falls to the ground. In fact, it looks like he breaks clean through the ground, and he does. The disturbance is captured from another room. A mysterious anomaly is seen in that same storage room. And that anomaly may be getting aggressive with him. But nothing is there, or so it seems. Just as he's decided to leave, he's confronted by the ghost again. One actually might think it's an earthquake, if not for the terrifying knowledge that this place is haunted. Later, he hears a whole lot of ruckus again and goes to investigate, when behind him, there's a growl. What sort of beast is in here with Dennis? I don't think that's a ghost. Sounds more like a demon to me. These situations usually end badly. This one, although extremely frightening, ended as well as it could have. It was February 8th, 1977. Tony Kiritsis, a 44-year-old man from Indianapolis, was set to meet about his mortgage with Richard O. Hall, a mortgage broker. Kiritsis wasn't making his payments, and a request for an extension was denied. Kiritsis was afraid that Hall would sell his property for the equity. After they'd gone in for the meeting as normal, Kiritsis led Hall out of his office with a barrel held to the base of Hall's neck. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment plan in action. Kiritsis had thought this through. The barrel was wired to Hall's neck, while the trigger was wired to a ring he wore on his index finger. This meant that Hall would perish if he tried to run away, and he would perish as well if someone tried to retrieve the gun from Kiritsis. Before leaving the office, Kiritsis also phoned the cops to tell them that if they attempted to intervene, Hall's life would end. He then led Hall through the streets of Indianapolis to Kiritsis' apartment, where he held Hall captive for 3 days. Kiritsis demands that his debt be eliminated, that he wouldn't be prosecuted for his actions, and that the mortgage company admit fault. This is the scary part that was caught on camera. Kiritsis alerted the news media that Richard Hall would be reading a statement that he, Kiritsis, had written. Hall could barely speak due to the strain from the wire against his neck, so Kiritsis ended up reading the piece himself live on air. His delivery lasted for 23 minutes. When Kiritsis got what he wanted, Hall was released unharmed. Police, of course, prosecuted Kiritsis despite promising otherwise, and he was found not guilty by reason of insanity. He was thrown in a mental institution for 11 years. Later, he apologized for what he had done and said that he never wanted to hurt anyone. Thankfully, he didn't. A YouTube channel called Proving Demons seeks to do just that with the help of a mystery box on eBay. Proving Demons and his assistant travel to a well-known haunted house in the area and hold the unboxing ceremony there. 3 items in particular grab their attention: an antique bell, an old necklace, and a wooden box with a pentagram on top. Using an EVP box, they hold up each item one at a time and ask each spirit to say the name of the item they are possessing. Tell me if you hear the same thing they are claiming to hear during this part.
There it was. Said necklace again, clear.
They do the same thing with the antique bell and seem to get another positive response. Then they decide to ask the spirit for its name, but only receive an old woman's laugh in return.
That sounded like an old lady's laugh.
And when they try to do the same thing with the pentagram box, this is the single word reply. It certainly seems like whatever is haunting this house doesn't like what's in that box. Jake Wardell is a motocross YouTuber with a moderate following and is a bit of a local celebrity. He is out dirt biking with a friend, and it isn't long before someone recognizes them. They have a brief chat, and it isn't clear if he is a fan or is angry about their dirt biking. Either way, they decide to take off, but they don't make it far before another person blocks off their path and begins approaching them. This other man begins talking down to them and takes an aggressive stance. I think Jake must have known he'd follow them if they tried to take off, so he decides to defuse the situation instead. Luckily, this situation doesn't end badly due to Jake taking the high road, but who knows how bad things could have gotten with the unpredictability of these men, especially since that one man was willing to completely stop them from getting past. This live broadcast captures what appears to be an impossible error on camera. Watch the news anchor on the left and see what happens. Here it is again in slow motion in case you missed it. Everything from a hologram to an alien has been proposed, but I guess it could be some kind of camera malfunction. Maybe someone who knows more about cameras can let me know if this is a technical malfunction or not. A group of friends from high school are joking around in Call of Duty. As the round comes to an end, somebody enters the private party and turns on their mic.
I'm saying it's off.
Yeah, they got 2 of them in the...
This is soon followed by evil laughter.
We're literally getting drilled on.
Like I said, these are close friends from high school who know each other's voices very well. If any of them were joking, at least one of them would pick up on it and know who. And besides that, this next noise does not even sound like a human.
Like that was.
I don't even...
The microphone at times sounds way louder and more clear than any of theirs, and sometimes like it's on another planet. Hopefully it was just hackers and not something from the other side.
Yeah, they got 2 of them in the...
YouTuber Hassan Barbar writes that the jinn of the stick is the strongest thing in the world of the jinn, and he's captured it on video. Let's take a look.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Soon you can hear the jinn moaning nearby.
طب ليش انت ما ظهرت اي لما كان الشيخ هون؟
And finally, Hassan comes across the jinn's stick.
انت وحده؟ يعني طب ليش وقعتيها؟ يعني تخوفيني اطلع من المكان؟ برجعه هسه الشيخ. برجع الشيخ هون. ها في صوت.
Hassan follows the sound of a bottle being kicked around, but he finds nothing.
ها معقول.
Is the jinn up to his games again? I think he just might be, and if that's the case, Hassan had better be careful. The jinn is around every corner. Got insomnia? This scary video won't help. Published by Little Genius in February of 2022, the following footage was captured while this poor soul was sleeping, or trying to. Slowly, the blankets are pulled down from the man's shoulders. He pulls them back up, but it happens again, and then a third time. But this doesn't seem to get the sleeping man's attention. A water bottle balanced on his headboard falls onto the bed. He replaces it and continues to sleep, but the bottle soon wobbles to the side and falls again. Next, a chair with a teddy bear slides forward on its own. Moments later, it scoots forward even more. It then tips backward, falling onto the floor and finally waking the man up. What entity is interfering with this guy's sleep? Whoever it is, it succeeded. This man will never sleep again. There's only one thing scarier than a ghost sighting. A ghost sighting you. That's what Garments 1 claimed to have caught on video in a churchyard in Estholt, United Kingdom. The footage opens on a shot of a church. After panning down, the distinct figure of a girl peering around the corner of the building comes into view. She quickly darts back and out of sight, and when pursued has disappeared into thin air. The shot pans back to the corner, up the building and around, but the ghost girl is nowhere in sight. Whether you're a believer in the paranormal or a skeptic, this video will make you look twice. Papa Jake is returning to a haunted sewer tunnel that he explored once before. But this time it's 3 a.m. He and his friends think that a large sewer creature might be down there, so they bring a lot of extra equipment like motion sensors and night vision to capture it on video. Their first encounter happens not in the tunnel itself, but rather in the surrounding woods.
Something's in the nest! Something's in the nest! Something is in the nest!
What appears to be some type of humanoid creature scampers across the forest floor on all fours. Only one of the two friends see it, so I guess he manages to convince himself that it was nothing, and they continue to press on. A short while later, they finally locate the tunnel. They are very deep inside when a strange and haunting moan convinces them to get out of there fast.
Oh Jesus, what was that?
The noise is coming from the same direction they just came from, so Papa Jake and his friend try to outrun the creature at a fast pace, taking blind turn after blind turn for a full 5 minutes. It isn't long before they find themselves wandering down an oversized pipe, completely lost. Whatever is chasing them, on the other hand, apparently knows every last twist and turn of this labyrinthian cesspit and finds them quickly. At this point, they all stopped recording to run for their lives. Papa Jake now feels he has sufficient evidence of the rake, and I doubt he will ever go back there. As always, be sure to let me know if you think this is real or not based on what you've seen. Their reactions all seem very genuine, but there's always the possibility of special effects.
And it was just such a chilling investigation. I am so excited to share it with you.
Haley Reese is walking through the woods when she and her friends stumble upon an old historic building known as the Griffin House. The woods around this area are supposedly quite haunted, and so they decide to conduct an impromptu paranormal investigation. It isn't long before something spooky happens.
I'm walking around to see if there's anything that you guys cap.
Somebody just moved the windows! Somebody just opened the blinds! I'm not fucking kidding you! Somebody was there with the blinds. Blinds are moving.
Haley's friends claim to see curtains moving with no one inside, and when Haley approaches the Griffin House at 10 minutes and 16 seconds, you can see the curtains just barely part in the middle. Determined to get better evidence of the paranormal, Haley focuses her camera squarely on the window. She's expecting to catch a ghost on video at any minute, but nothing happens for a while. Then all of a sudden,
Move the blind more. Whoa.
as Haley later explains, the building has been closed to the public for months, so no one was inside. However, it could have been a draft in the house causing the curtains to move. There does appear to be a strong breeze blowing through the trees when they see it happen. This video is creepy and I'll get to the scary part, but first I want to know what language is being spoken and what they are saying here.
वे कौन है? वे उमर यार कोई है उधर?
I'm guessing he's asking who's there. Unfortunately for him, this strange sighting is his answer.
पुत्तरी अबे उमर
A person comes walking out backwards in a painfully high arch that even a gymnast would struggle to achieve. It's like a scene out of one of the exorcism movies, but is it real? It almost seems too weird to be real, but how many people do you know who can move like that? Then again, they are at a gym, so maybe they're in good shape and one of his more athletic friends was able to fake this back-breaking pose.
Creeping me out. I lived here for going on 7 years. I walked 100 miles through these woods. Never seen that shape before right there.
That's the reaction of James Jones after finding a strange human silhouette standing motionless in the Tennessee forest. What's especially perplexing is how James should be close enough to see the person's facial features, yet their entire visage is shrouded in darkness.
It's not a broken tree or whatever. I don't know. It looks like it's connected right there, but it's not. I've been over there 1,000 times.
Even if this was a tree, there's not much of a reason for it to be completely dark instead of the same color as every other tree around. It almost looks like the figure is wearing a colonial-style hat. Maybe it's the spirit of a soldier from the Revolutionary War, or maybe they were a soldier in the Civil War. Let me know what you think it was, and if you think James was in any trouble on that day. This unsolved CCTV video shows a man struggling to drag something heavy down the steps late at night. As he makes a turn, you can see he's pulling a black bag that's quite large out of view. While this is happening, somebody who is staying late at the office happens to see him, which is how I guess this videotape was reported and later archived for further investigation. Nothing else happens until 42 minutes later when the incident repeats itself. The creepy man drags another mysterious black bag down the steps and out the door. At 10 seconds, you get a better look and it definitely looks like a garbage bag to me. I really hope that this person wasn't dragging two people out, but that's exactly what it looks like happens. Maybe there's a good alternate explanation, but I have no idea why this guest would wait until the middle of the night to remove these objects from his room and never return. A while back, a YouTuber named Hey Charmaine somehow came across a creepy doll head that she found fascinating in a way that was hard to explain. She gets a really weird feeling from it and knows this is more than an ordinary piece of plastic, so she puts it by her bed with the camera on at night to see what happens. One night, the creepy doll head moves all by itself, or so she says. It's pretty weird, but notice how the video has been sped up, a sign of stop motion photography. If this video was shown at regular speed, I would be more likely to believe it, but the movements look very abrupt, like somebody kept repositioning the doll a little at a time and sped up the video to create the illusion of movement. While an elderly woman was napping, a spirit decided to disturb her sleep, captured on a home security camera in Singapore. YouTuber Gilbert Chan shares what happens when a ghost wants you to get no rest. Watch the woman's blanket. But that is just the start. After readjusting, the lady goes back to sleep, but not for long. After the air freshener on the table flies across the room before her very eyes, she decides that sleeping isn't on her agenda today. According to the YouTuber, this whole neighborhood is reputed to be cursed, but why bother this poor old woman? My theory is that the spirit doesn't want anyone to get any rest, since he wasn't able to rest in peace. YouTuber Exploring with Josh spent the night in this building, one of the UK's most haunted hospitals.
It's called the Bonnie Garth Workhouse / Asylum.
Up to 300 people lost their lives in or died. Or 300 people could be alive.
At first, the explorers scare each other.
We're fast, I bet.
I'm so glad no one got my reaction, dude.
But later, they discover it's not each other they should be afraid of.
You can let me know. I'm gonna keep going. Oh, yeah, oh, okay. You ready?
After receiving that confirmation, they get a verbal one as well.
Or is there more like you here?
There's more. Do you like us?
According to the spirit's communication, there are more like him around. Did one of these others touch Seth?
We're back in the dark. We're finding the stairs.
Something just touched my back.
Yo, chill. For real?
I swear, bro.
Dude, I'm telling you, this one.
I believe the spirit when he says he's not alone. The fact that multiple devices were triggered when the spirit was questioned makes me think this isn't just coincidence. Something is residing here. Trenton and his friends are having fun fishing until he loses his expensive fishing lure under the ice. Thinking fast, he finds a long stick and tries to walk across the half-frozen lake to find his lure. Some patches of ice are dangerously thin, so Trenton has to constantly poke the ice in front of him to see if it can support his weight. One false step will send him into the freezing waters below. If this happens, the ice around the edges might break away when he starts to climb out. Eventually, Trenton gives up on finding the lure and simply focuses on getting back alive. He spends almost 10 minutes carefully navigating the ice and nearly reaches the others when he makes a mistake.
You're fine.
Trenton is incredibly lucky to be back in shallow waters when this happens. His feet hit the bottom and he is able to quickly pull himself out. If this happened in the middle of the lake though, he would have been over his head and only had seconds to react. This video was apparently taken in Bangalore, India. A motorcyclist with a GoPro is riding late at night. It appears to be a desolate rural road with no street lights. Soon the motorcyclist approaches something on the side of the road that is glowing white, taking no chances. He speeds past and then apparently uploads the footage at a later time. Normally, I'd say this is someone covered in a sheet. I don't think that would explain why it's literally glowing white though. Due to the glow, I would say there is a good chance this is actually paranormal. Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.